Hello everyone and welcome to episode 21 of Andersmill Knits podcast vlog, whatever you would like to call it. I'm Emily, your host, and you can find me on Ravelry as aka Millie, that's Millie, and on Instagram as aka Millie907. We have a Ravelry group which is Andersmill Knits podcast, and then we also have a second Ravelry group for our current make-along, which is called the Summer Stripe-Along, C-A-L, Craft-Along. C is for craft. And so you can find me all over the place there, and make sure and tag your craft-along items with the hashtag SSACAL. Well, just so you all know, I've had quite the adventuresome morning trying to podcast. This is take 297. Everything is going wrong. I now officially have soaked all of my projects and yumminess goodies with peach iced tea, and my porch is all soaked. I'm all soaked. My feet are now sticky. I can't be trusted, guys. Ugh, I felt so bad because my neighbor, I think, was out on her porch when I spilt my tea all over the place. I think she got some on her because this is not exactly a the boards between on the floor of my porch are not exactly up against each other. There's a good half an inch to an inch gap between each one. So so here, I'll show you. So my camping chair has a side table, and it wasn't latched all the way, and I set my drink down on it, and bam-o! And all and flying all over the place. Sorry if seasickness kind of thing. It's just, So now we are going again with peach iced tea in my Ravelry Camelback with a sippy cup, so that I won't spill it again. But what this also means is that I'm going to have to be doing some careful laundry later on of things around my knitting because of spilling it like that. And I'm sorry for any background noise. I thought podcasting outside would be better than last time I podcasted outside, but I'm not really sure. But plus, you know, I really didn't like the ambient noise of the fans in our house from the last podcast. So I didn't want that going on, but then it's too hot not to have the fans going. I mean, literally, like, for the time being that it would take me to podcast, I would be drenched in sweat. Because I'm an Alaska girl in a hot climate that I view as hot. Other people might not. I view it as hot. Okay, so why don't we move on to reviewing some notes, shall we? Well, so the last 2 weeks, over the last 2 weeks, I took a couple days off work. I had the 4th of July off, and I talked about last time how I planned on trying to do some self-care items, and I think I did pretty good. I didn't do all the things that I'd planned. Like, for instance, I didn't make bread because it was just too hot to make bread. I couldn't see my way clear to doing that. And I didn't make granola because we were on a budget, and I didn't have the money that I viewed. I didn't have the money to go out and purchase all the things that I needed to purchase. Like, my coconut oil was expired, so I didn't really want to use it just in case it had gone rancid, and, you know, so on and so forth. So I didn't do the baking part of things, but I did a lot of the crafting side of things, and I had such a blast. It was awesome. I hit the dye pots. Some of you might have seen that on my Instagram feed, and I couldn't be more pleased with the outcome. Like, just wait, guys. It's awesome. Then on the 4th of July, my husband and I spent a quiet day at home. I mean, we had lots of offers to go and be with friends and family, but we really wanted to try and take some time and reconnect, because we had been feeling kind of disconnected from each other, a little distant, and there was a lot of things going into that, reasoning behind that but we decided to stay home and spend the day with each other. And you know, I had all these grand dreams of, you know, he loves Legos, so I thought, oh, what, maybe we'll put together a Lego set. And we're not talking the kids' Legos, we're talking intense Legoville here. And then he gave me a new board game a couple months ago, and I was like, oh, maybe we'll play my new board game. But really what we ended up doing is sitting and talking all the day long. First we were in the living room, and then we came out to the back porch when the sun had moved to the other side of the house. And we just really, and I was knitting the whole time. I got so much done, it was awesome. And we just connected. And then when it got time towards dinner time, we barbecued, and then we came in and we watched, while we were eating, we watched the live stream from Disney World. I think it was Disney World. It was of their 4th of July fireworks show. Well, that was pretty much what I did. And then later that week, or this week, I guess, a few days ago, I got to meet up with a good friend of the podcasts, Miss Hot Pink Socks, and she was in town visiting family and friends, and I was graced with her presence. It was so amazing. We had dinner at a local eatery, and we just talked and knit and got to know each other really, really well. And in the end, we both walked away, and we had been so engaged in what we were doing that we had totally forgot to take a picture with each other. So I have no documentation of that event, but it did happen. I crossed I crossed my heart. And that was really lovely, because, you know, I don't get to hang out with knittery people very often. And even though I'm in the Portland area, I find it very difficult to find a knitting group, especially one that I feel connected with. So it's been kind of challenging. It's a solo adventure for me. So, okay. There is something though that I want to talk about. I know this is a switch of topic really fast, but I'd like to talk about Instagram for a minute. I have been struggling a little bit with Instagram recently on a number of levels. One, and I've talked to a couple other friends about this, one is the commercials, I guess, or the ads that are in there, and it seems like every like 4th or 5th picture or post is an ad from them. And that, I mean, just come on now. I mean, I know that this is a free social media for us, but for them to really be encroaching, and they have to make money, I know that, I get that, but for them to be encroaching that heavily is really disconcerting. And then also, like, I want to see in a timeline fashion what people are posting, not what's hot right now. That's wonderful and all that, but you know, when I go on Instagram, there's a reason they called it Instagram. I mean, it's in the instant, it's now, it's happening now, and all that kind of stuff. And so when I go on there, I want to see what's happening now with all of my friends. And if they're not getting a lot of likes, I don't see it. And so it takes a lot of, I've now turned on a lot of notifications for different people and subjects, because I'm not seeing them on my normal perusal of Instagram. And then the last thing. So a couple months ago, I decided to make my Instagram feed public, because I really thought this through in a lot of detail, and the likelihood of any of my clients trying to friend me or follow me on Instagram is very low, like probably in the 15 percentile or less. And because they're seniors, and a lot of them are low income, so most of them don't even have phones, let alone smartphones. And some of them are on Facebook, so I still have my Facebook thing private. But I knew that for now it would be safe for me to have my Instagram feed public. But what's happened since then is twofold. A lot of knitters have found me, and that's wonderful. I'm so grateful for that. And at the same time, a lot of people that have nothing to do with my lifestyle have decided to follow me, and that kind of annoys me because I'm like, okay, you're a model. Why? Sorry, there's a fly. You're a model. Why are you following a fat chick out of Northwest United States who knits? Why is a model doing that? You know? And then in the last 2 weeks, I have been bombarded with people friending me who, it's pornography, plain and simple. They have posts on there that says, going live, want to see my big, sorry, if there's any kids around, sorry. You know, when I hit 50 followers, I'm gonna go live. And I'm just like, oh my freaking gosh, why in the world would you, what in the, is it because my handle starts with an A? And so I'm way up there? Like, if you just push A and you start friending all of the A's? I don't know, but I keep blocking them and reporting them as inappropriate, sexually inappropriate, and yet I keep getting them. And it's really, really upsetting me. And I don't know what else to do with it except for what I'm gonna propose right now, which is, I've talked it over with my husband. I've really thought about it a lot. I talked it over a bit with Stephanie Hot Pink Socks the other day, and what I think I might do is open a public account for Andersmill podcast. I'd probably just call it Andersmill Knits, something like that. If that's not taken, I don't know why it would be taken. And then make my personal account private again. And then you guys can keep following both because, you know, I'm an open book. So I post things that are about the podcast, and then I post things about my personal life as well. And I love sharing that with you. I don't want to share that, though, with these random, I'm just going to say it, creepos. Sorry. That's not why I'm on Instagram. So that's been going on, and it's been really frustrating. So I'm sorry if I went on a rant. It's now 14 minutes in and I haven't even talked about knitting. So why don't we do that right now? We actually have a prize to give away. Sorry, I'm getting on my computer. From our June Double Dip Cal. And you know what? I believe there's only one person who actually posted in the Double Dip Cal, which I don't blame you, because you know what? The prize isn't the greatest this time around. It was the set of needle set that I have, and so the only person that posted in there is Linda from Bensalem over in Pennsylvania. And Linda, you've won before, but yay, you won again this time. And so I'm really excited to send that off to you. So if you would like to get that, I think I still have your information. I'll double check, but just in case, why don't you PM me anyway. And then for the July Double Dip Cal, I forgot to bring the prize out here, so I'll insert a picture right here. It's a very special package that I have. July is my birthday month. I was born on the 24th, and so I want to give away an extra special gift this time. And so I've been keeping this this project kit around for a very long time, and I love it so much and I want to knit it, but I just know that I'm not going to. I have too many other things on the go, and so I just thought, why don't we pass this on to all of my lovely viewers. So for the Double Dip Cal in the month of July, if you enter to win, you could win this extra special package. And then I'm also going to post another thread in the group. I haven't picked out from my stash what I'm going to give away for this, but it's going to be a special birthday giveaway. And I believe, let me check my calendar here. So yeah, I'll be podcasting the next on my, actually on my sister's birthday. My older sister Amy was born on the 22nd, and I was born 5 years later on the 24th. So that's really special to our family. And actually my mother's mother, my grandmomsy, she was born in the month of July, and I have two other cousins. One cousin that was born on my birthday, and another cousin that was born a couple days even prior than my sister Amy. So July is a big month for my family. So I thought I would post a thread for a giveaway of what is your favorite memory or gift that you got, not so much a gift, more of a memory of your birthday. I'm not really into gifts so much as the memory making of that surrounds the birthday. So quickly, I'll just share one of my favorite memories. It was when I was a teenager, and back then we had these big, huge celebrations for everybody in the month of July. So we weren't just celebrating my birthday, we were celebrating all the people that I just mentioned, my grandmomsy, my sister, my two cousins, and the whole family would gather. And it seemed to usually happen either at my grandmomsy's house or at our house. And this time it happened at my parents' house. And so we have a big family. So the house and the yard was chock full. We had badminton set up. We were playing croquet out in the backyard. And we play those games pretty competitively. Like, we're having a lot of fun and we're joking around with each other, but boy, you know, we will not hesitate to knock your your croquet ball into the woods. It was just fun. And this birthday, I'm not sure why it still stands out to me, except for in my mind, I just have this golden memory of playing badminton with my little brother and sister and my grandmomsy. And grandmomsy was good at badminton. And so we were playing outside, and I remember that year I got from my parents an actual camera. Like, I felt like a photographer. I mean, it was a good camera for back then, but it wasn't top of the line or anything because, hello, I was a teenager. And it was still a film camera because, you know, I'm old. Older. I'm not old, but you know. And I just remember going around being so excited and taking photos of everything. And my mom still, I believe, has all of those photos from that day. And I think that might have been the last time all of us were together for July birthday celebration. I'm not sure, but I'm kind of thinking that's the case. And so the month of July is also kind of bittersweet for me because my grandmomsy passed away while I was on a mission in Las Vegas, and we were extremely close. But she passed away in January time. But because it's her birthday month, I get a little nostalgic for her. She was an amazing woman, so I'll try not to cry anymore. Oh, I'm doing this, guys. But anyway, so that's my birthday memory. So I was wondering, did I mess up everything? Or I'm just giving myself divots in my eyes. I'm wondering what your memory is, and hopefully you won't cry when when you're sharing your memory. But so those threads will be going up today, and I hope you guys will join in with me and you know, share those precious moments with those of us who would really love to hear from you. Okay, so now let's move on to actual knitting content, shall we? I finally have an FO. So, the socks are back, baby. I have finished my Hermione's Everyday socks on the Happy Feet crayon colorway. Now I knit these on size 0. I did 60 stitches around. I did the knit through the back loop 1 by 1 rib, and then I did the Hermione's Everyday with the fish lips kiss heel. And yeah, it looks like this is the one. Yeah, because see, on this one I remembered to give You can't really see, I don't think. I remember to give myself some extra space before I started the heel, but on the other one, we were watching a movie and I forgot, and I was already at Watson. Watson. I forgot to give myself that extra space, but it fits beautifully. Honestly, these fit so well, and I'm really excited about that. Now, I haven't decided what to give my sister Amy for her birthday. She's a huge crafter. She does everything, but her main love is paper piecing, English style paper piecing. And I don't know if I want to give her these socks because we have the same size feet. I don't know if I want to give her these socks, which are not really her colors, or if I want to do something else, pardon me, along the lines of her favorite craft. Amy loves my hand knit socks that I give her. I just gave her a pair of socks for Mother's Day, and she called me on Mother's Day and she was really excited. She and my little sister Kelsey both got the same exact pair. Remember when I did the Fiber Nymph Dye Works 2-color stripe, and I got 2 pairs of socks out of that. I was so proud of myself. So she got that and she was so happy. And so, I don't know. These are very happy socks, and I could see my sister Amy loving them because of the mere fact that I knit them for her and they will fit her very well, but I don't see these as being really her colors. So I might try and do something. I don't have enough time, actually. What am I even thinking? I don't have enough time to knit or anything. But anyway, and I give her a lot of shawls. I think she's got 3 shawls from me that I've knit for her, and she wears them pretty regularly, especially when she goes to church with the kids and stuff. She always finds herself a little bit cold in church, which is funny because I always find myself very hot in church. So then now on to what's in session. So the first thing is this huge long tube of knitting. Now this is for the Afterthought Everything sock that I'm knitting up, and I now have 21 inches. And I think I figured out that I need, actually wait, I have the pattern right here. I need 24.5 inches before I can do all this. Now one of those inches is going to be ribbing, so one of these repeats is 1 inch, so I need to knit, so I'm at 21 right now, so I need to knit 2 more regular and then 1 in 1x1 rib and bind off. And then I'm going to try and record and either put it into this podcast or maybe just as a separate one going up on the Ravelry, on the YouTube group or channel of me doing all of the cutting and inserting of the toes and heels and stuff, because I didn't put waist yarn in on purpose because I want to do a true afterthought of everything. So that means I'm going to be steeking for the first time in my entire life. So I need to read up on that because I've seen a lot of people do it, and a lot of people always say it's not difficult, it's just very scary when you've never done it before. Well, I just don't want to ruin it. That's a lot of knitting, you know? And again, that's in my zigzag stitches, and actually it's getting to the point where things don't fit in it. I love this bag. It's just hard a lot of times. I mean, it's wonderful to fit into my purse, but it's hard a lot of times to actually fit my project in there. So let me get a drink really quick. So just so you know, I did not pick up my Bendy Arrow shawl at all this last 2 weeks, which I'm sad about because I really, really love it. But it's because I was so enthralled with everything else I was doing. So remember I said I hit the dye pots? Well, I dyed up, oh look, see that blip? And that's because it was a resist because of this. So this is one of my, I don't use unless absolutely necessary, skeins. I've got 2 of those. I don't think I will need to. I dyed up some skeins of my yarn that I had on hand that we talked about last time in the purple color purple and blackish colorway, and I overdyed. So first I dyed it purple, and then I overdyed it with a black solution that I had, and I intentionally did everything in their own pots. So I did 1 skein per pot, and so what that did was it gave me a nice variation in the depth of tone between each skein, but it also ensured that all of the actual dye would be soaked up into each skein in a more even fashion. Does that make sense? So you take a risk because each pot is literally 1 dye lot. So I was taking a very strong risk there. But I also knew that I was going to alternate skeins throughout, and because the breathing space cardigan is sweater is also a striped sweater, I knew that the only place it was going to really truly matter would be on the yoke. I am so happy with this. Let's see if you can get all of the different colors in. Can you see all of that? Oh my gosh, I love it so much. So, I cast on for the 3rd largest size. So I think it's an extra large. And I'm knitting from the top down, obviously. And now I had to knit this twice, again, because I still keep messing up on this dang thing. I knit the ribbing at the top with the wrong size needle, so I had to rip it back out and try it on the smaller needles. And then also, I wanted to make sure that I got the correct gauge on this, so I went, and I was really frustrated with the last time I was trying to get gauge on things, so I went and I read quite a few blogs and stuff on knitting gauge, and the 2 that I would recommend, and I think I'll try and link them in the show notes. One is by Amy Herzog, and she talks about knitting the swatch, not just sitting there and concentrating on knitting on the swatch, but knitting on the swatch while you're doing something that you would normally be doing while you're knitting the sweater. So in my case, normally I'd be either listening to a book on tape, or I'd be watching a TV show or movie with my husband. So this last weekend, while we were watching, I can't even remember. We were watching a movie, I believe. I knit up my first swatch, and it was on the recommended needle size, which is size 4 for the sweater, and it was too big. So then the next day, which I had the day off and my husband was working, I knit my second swatch, and again I knit it while I think I was watching like the Grocery Girls or something, and I knit the second one, and I was a little impatient, I'll admit. So when I had washed it and it was laying out to dry, now I didn't stretch these or pin these, as per Amy Herzog's thing. She's like, well, when you knit a sweater, you don't really stretch out the sweater and pin the sweater, do you? You lay it out to dry, because it doesn't really need to be stretched, right? Normally. So, and she's right, and I don't want to stretch this sweater. So, I did my next swatch, and I laid it out to dry. And I was too impatient, so I measured it while it was wet, and again, it was like, when I measured it when it was wet, it was the same size as the one that, on the size 4. Now this is on a size 3. And I was like, what the heck, man? Why is it the same size? So I immediately cast on for my third swatch, on the size 2 needles, which is supposed to be the smallest size that you use in the pattern. And I knit that up, and again, while I was watching another podcast, and washed it and placed it out to dry. By that time, this swatch had gotten dry, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to measure this one more time. And dang if it wasn't spot on. Row gauge and stitch gauge, spot on for size 3. So I knit the third swatch for no reason at all, but now I have them. And I'm really happy that I did that, because I don't know, they seem like artwork in and of themselves with the different colors. Man, you guys can't, okay, a little bit. There. So I immediately cast on and set to working. I feel like I was working on this on 4th of July. So maybe I did this all on like Saturday or wait. Oh, that is right. Okay, so Monday. Right. So Monday was the day that I did all the swatches, and then I cast on the wrong needle size, and then 4th of July morning I woke up extra early and recast on, and I was knitting on this all day long. Well, no, I wasn't knitting on this all day long. Who are we kidding? So I did the short rows in the back. I did everything to pattern. And I'm going to do that until we separate for the sleeves. Now I have a larger bust, and I did the size for this, for my upper chest. And I'm so grateful because Amy Beth just posted of her latest video. She does this all the time. Sorry, of the Fat Squirrel Speaks. She posts all the time about when she finished the sweater. She finished her sweater. What her modifications and about altering things for those of us that are larger. And so she said on this last one that she, according to Amy Herzog, you know, knit as normal, as in pattern, to the right here where the sleeves separate, and then ramp up your increases right here so you make more room for, say, my larger bust. And then I have a smaller rib cage too right underneath my bust, so then I would maybe come down a little bit. But also on this pattern, I believe the stripes are going to start right underneath my nipple area. So I'm going to have to be careful of that, of the increases and stuff. So I'm going to take a look at the pattern, figure it all out. It'll be great. I'm so happy with it. And this is being housed in my new Simply Stashless project bag that she sent me. But get this, there's so much yarn that I cannot fit it all in to this. So I still have my other bag, again from Fat Squirrel Speaks, with my can you hear the dog howling? It's our neighbors. He's always so sad when his mommy leaves. Anyway, my Hedgehog Fibers colorway, and I just want to point out how well this goes together. Even better than my store-bought Madeline Tosh that I was going to use. I really, really like this colorway so much better. So that's what I was knitting on, and then also I realized that my best friend's birthday is coming up in August, and I need to get to going on her present. I don't know if I've ever shared this with you guys on the podcast before, but 2 winters ago I knit some mittens out of my own hand-dyed. I can't remember what the colors are, and I don't think I've got tags in here. Do I? No, that's not even... Nope, I don't. But anyway, I have this golden color and then this tealy color. I think this is Otter Shanks, actually. I don't remember what the... Might have been Darcy or something like that. Anyway, so I knit these beautiful Norwegian mitts, colorwork mitts, for my best friend for what was supposed to be her Christmas present. And look, it's even got a flower and the thumb, and they're nice and big. Well, the problem is that the pattern itself doesn't switch around the charts so that it's intuitive to knit the left-hand mitten. And so I accidentally knit 2 right-hand mittens. Yeah, I did that. And I didn't realize it until the very, very end, literally. Luckily, though, I still have... Oh, I brought out the wrong bag. That's why I didn't know. That's hilarious. I brought out the wrong bag. Anyway, luckily, though, I have a lot... Because the blue wasn't used as heavily as the gold, I have a lot of the blue left. And a good portion of the gold as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the blue now the main portion and the gold be the contrast. And I'm going to knit 2 left-hand mittens, and I'm going to send 1 pair to my best friend for her birthday in August, and I'll keep the other pair, and we'll have matching mittens. See, this is how it would be if I just send it to her like this. So that doesn't work. And plus the thumb feels really weird. So that is what I'm going to be casting on today as well. Then, not only did I do all that, but I actually spun. I'm so happy. So I finally got out my spinning wheel again, and I spun the rest of the, uh-oh, I lost my tag. Aww. Oh, everything is soaked. Oh, here it is. Intrepid Otter. And this is Shetland, 4 ounce. And it comes from, oh no, it's the colorway Bartlett. And it's just a solid brown. It's got some veggie matter still in it. And I think this was probably sitting for a long time at her farm. And so the fiber felted quite a lot. And so I've got these slubs periodically. I don't know if you can see the slubs throughout. There's another slub. And some of them I took out because if they were too slubby, I was just like, well, there's no way. And the others I just left in, as I was just kind of thinking this is kind of more rustic art yarny kind of thing in my head. So I've got 4 ounces on this bobbin, and I'm going to now start spinning up the other 4 ounce bump that she gave me right here, which I believe is also Shetland. It's so beautiful. And then I'm going to barber pull these two together. I'm going to apply them together. And I don't know what I'm going to do after that. I'll have a lot. See, there's some more veggie matter. So this is all very rustic yarn, but it's so lovely. I'm so excited. I actually want to put that on my bobbins today as well. There's so much I want to do. So little time. Sorry, because of the sippy cup. It takes a while for me to get some juice out of there. So, let's talk about in my toolbox, shall we? So I had a wonderful couple weeks for in my toolbox. I didn't purchase anything, for myself anyway, but I received lots of wonderful, wonderful things. And before I get into that, I'm going to talk a little bit about purchasing yarn and patterns. I've decided to take a hiatus from purchasing those two things. I love purchasing yarn, but I find that when I purchase yarn, I knit with the new stuff, and my older stuff languishes. And I have such a beautiful stash, and I've got enough sweaters to knit like 13 sweaters or more. Not all for me, obviously. I have sweaters for my I have sweater quantities for my brothers, and I'd love to knit one for my husband, but he runs too hot, so he wouldn't wear it. And it's understandable. He loves his socks, so that I knit him, so we'll stick with that for now. And I know that there will be a lot of colorways coming out that I will want desperately, but I want to really stick with this, and there's a number of reasons why. One of which is I would like to get out of debt. You know, when my husband and I got married, we combined our debts, and it turned out that there's a lot of debt, and that makes us both very uncomfortable. Now, I make pretty good money, and Chris makes a fair amount of money as well, so together we should be able to bring our debt down pretty quickly. However, what we've been doing instead is spending all of our excess money on silly things, and as I see it, not as things that will make me happy in the long run, but will fulfill that need in the moment, and I don't really like that kind of spending. And so we have a lot of grandiose goals, like owning our own home, or buying a trailer or motorhome, going on some vacations, but we can't do that until we bring our debt down. So we want to really concentrate on doing that. Now, one of the ways that I can contribute to doing that is not buying any more yarn, because that is a large expense every month. And then also not buying any more patterns, because first off, I've got a huge pattern library, and there are so many beautiful things in there that I've never knit, and I want to, and again, when I get a new pattern, I want to knit that pattern now, and I forget about all the beautiful patterns that I have backlogged. So I want to concentrate on actually getting in there and knitting and using the things that I already own, rather than looking for that new shiny object that I think will make me happy, right? So with that in mind, I'm going to put myself on a hiatus. Now, that hiatus also comes with two caveats. One, if I do a swap, then I am allowed to go and buy something for that swap. And two, if I go to a fiber festival, I will give myself a budget of, say, 2 skeins or 3 skeins max, or, you know, or maybe just a money budget. You know, that worked really well this last time we went, and we stuck within that budget really well. So I want to do that coming up. There's another fiber festival coming up in August, I believe, in Canby, Oregon, Black Sheep Gathering, and so I've only been to that one once, and I want to go again, so I'm gonna need to give myself a budget there. So that's all percolating in my head. And another way that I'm going to really concentrate on helping us save money is, instead of going grocery shopping and buying all the things that I need a couple times a week, I want to, does that make sense? Like for Wednesday's dinner, I'll have to go shopping on Wednesday in order so that I can make Wednesday's dinner. And the same with Fridays, although Friday we usually go out to eat, as that's our date night. And so I'm going to make meal plans, which I didn't get to on my vacation, which I had planned on doing. That was part of my self-care, and I didn't do it. But I want to make meal plans and really try hard to use what we already have before it goes bad. Does this make sense, right? And then my last thing is that we want to try and do dates and fun things that are relatively inexpensive or free. So for us, going on walks together, or geocaching. Chris doesn't know if he wants to do geocaching. I want to do it really bad. There's a couple other things that I want to try out that are free. There's a lot of trails in the area that I would like to go hiking on, and Chris isn't a hiker, but he said he'd be game for it if we're trying to do the whole save money aspect. So, you know, there's all of those things. So with that in mind, instead of showing you all the things that I got from this last 2 weeks now, I'm going to spread it out for the next 3 podcasts and show you one package that I got each podcast, so that we can still continue to enjoy the In My Toolbox. And then once that's over, if I don't have anything new to show you that week, then instead what I'm going to do is go into the vaults and show you some precious skeins that I have and some patterns that I've been thinking about that I already own, and revisiting those things. And I want to encourage everybody to do the same. If you're feeling, this is something that kind of bothers me. When I watch a podcast and they have so many new skeins, and I recognize that a lot of these podcasters, they get a lot of free things from makers, and that's wonderful, because it's a great way to, and a relatively inexpensive way to advertise your shop, and I love that, and I want to encourage that to continue happening. I'm not one of those podcasters. I've received a couple things from different makers, and I'm not so sure that that was because they wanted to advertise their shop, but more of they are just wonderful, sweet people. Hot Pink Socks, for instance. But when I'm watching those podcasters and they show skein after skein after skein on their show, of all the things that have come in, I start to feel a little bit bad about myself and my situation. And I'm thinking, well, I want that too. And so I might see, it's a little bit of jealousy, and at the same time it's envy and all of those things. I don't like that about myself. And so when I share new things with you, I hope that you're not experiencing that. I live a kind of a more modest lifestyle, so when I do buy things and I share them with you, it's not, well, on one or two occasions it has been multiple things, like big hurrah things, but for the most part, I hope it's been kind of fairly modest, and that's what I want to continue. And I want to really promote a slower lifestyle, a more thoughtful lifestyle, at least in my life. So I'm going to continue to watch all those podcasts and love everything that they show, but I'm going to try really hard to work on myself and why I'm feeling that way. Where is my dissatisfaction coming from? Is it coming from me wanting to live the lifestyle that they're presenting, or is it that there's something else in my life that is another need in my life that needs to be met, that's not being met, but it's kind of overflowing into the I want yarn. Does that make sense? Like, yarn is supposed to be the healing balm to fix the other thing that's actually wrong with me, and that's not the way it actually works, because if you notice, when you buy the yarn, you still have that hurt. You still are dissatisfied with life, maybe, and you want to go out and buy more. I'm just saying that that's for me. I'm not saying that's happening with other people, but for me, that's what's happening. So, anyway, enough of that. So, but I do want to share, I got an amazing package from my friend Helen of Getting Knits, and she sent me this beautiful card. Look at that. So this is English Heritage card. English Heritage cares for over 400 historic monuments, buildings, and places. Through these, we bring the story of England to life for over 10 million visitors each year. So, oh, okay, so this is Dry Stone Wall at Castlereagh in Cumbria with the sheep. And she wrote me just this lovely letter. Look at the back of this. Isn't that beautiful? On the back of her stationery, and each one is different. Ah, I love it, Helen. It's beautiful. And she has such lovely handwriting. But she sent me some amazing stuff. So first off, okay, I have to share this with you. Luckily, everything was protected from the spill because it's all in plastic bags, but I am now getting some stuff on me. Okay, for those of you who know, oh, it's so soft and squishy. Oh, Helen has her own podcast called Getting Knits, and she is now starting her own yarn line called Giddy Yarns, and she sent me a skein. And this is called the fruit salad colorway. Oh my gosh, look at those happy colors. And look, see? Like, it just brings out everything lovely in my face. Joy. This is pure joy. That's, oh, isn't that a shawl pattern by Hohi? But anyway, doesn't matter. So, I had to try one. And now that I'm going to show you, I can eat the others because it's delicious. But there is a candy from England called fruit salad. And it's these kind of hard candies that are hard candies, but not hard, so you can chew on them. Oh, they're yummy. And that's what this, that's what this was colored after. Perfect, right? Perfect. She does such a good job. So I'm going to sieve those out because I want those. So luckily it was in here. I've now got cider, or no, not cider. What's it called? Tea all over me. I'm going to have one right now because I'm feeling it melted a little. Just to remind you. Right? Spot on! Like, how did she do that? Okay, so then she sent me magic. You've probably heard of this skein before, or this company. Trailing Clouds, Mind the Gap colorway. And this was dyed for me, like she special ordered this for me. And there's a story behind. Okay, so this is from, the main yarn is from Trailing Clouds, a UK indie dyer. The colorway is Mind the Gap and features a color stripe for every one of the London Underground, or our subway train system, known as the Tube. So, each stop on the London Underground, and I remember this from when I was in London, so this was really cool, has its own special color code demarcation. And so that's what this colorway is. And it's gorgeous! Look at the saturation in those colors. Oh, and the different blues and oranges. And I'll link this dyer in my blog. I think she's only dyeing this now, because I went to her website in order to get the link for the blog yesterday, and it was the only thing up on her shop for a pre-order. So I don't know if she's not dyeing other things or what, but anyway. And then she sent me a bunch. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mini skeins. She sent me 10 grams of each. And they're so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is so... Oh, this is Peggy May yarns. Oh, I wanted to figure her out or see her stuff. So this is Alice in Wonderland. And look at that color. Isn't that gorgeous? Then let's see. This one is Sheep on Mars. And there's no colorway name. But man, you don't need a colorway name. 10 grams of that. I love that. And this is Rosie's Moments. Rainbow Bright. Oh, Rainbow Bright! Oh my gosh, I grew up with Rainbow Bright. I've never heard of Rosie's Moments, but look at the sparkle in that. Can you see the sparkle? Oh, that's gorgeous. And then let's see, what's this one? Oh, Mothie and the Squid. Summer Skies Rainbow. Didn't you just knit this one up, Helen? Am I crazy? Did I think you knit this one up? Let's see, then, oh, another Peggy May one, Peggy May yarns, and this one is in the Valentine colorway. So it's a base of pink, and then it's got some speckles of hot pink and purple, and I think I saw a little bit of blue in there. I don't know, but there's that. And then finally, the last one of gorgeousness is Owl About Yarn, Lilac Mist Self-Striping. Oh, that is gorgeous. You know what, this reminds me of an English garden on a rainy day. Yeah. Good stuff. So I got all these lusciousness from my good friend Helen. She was so generous. Not only did she send me that, but the last thing that I'll mention that she sent me is a huge stash of candy. Now, I'm a diabetic, so I have to be careful. So, and I told myself I wasn't going to eat any of this candy or anything until I showed it with you. So now, there is nothing stopping me. But she sent me some oh, and it melted a little, so I had to put it in the freezer. But I got some Cadbury chocolates. So this one is a dairy milk, and I think it's just chocolate. Yeah, milk chocolate. Yummy. Then she sent me these guys who melted completely. Actually, they still feel a little melty. Maybe they're supposed to... Oh, hot frothy instant Chalky. I don't know. Does anyone know about these? Wigs? Wispa? It's from Cadbury as well. And then she sent me some Werther's Original Butter Candies. Yum, yum, yum. And some wine gums. That one I'm going to eat while I'm watching my next movie. Oh, I could win a flight to New Zealand. Wow. But I am a sucker for fruity candies, especially while I'm watching a movie. And then some fruit pastels? Fruit pastellis. I don't know. But they're hard. I don't know. We'll see. And then something really interesting. Sherbet Fountain. Natural colors and flavors. I don't know what it is, but it's got a thing on the top. I don't know. It's, ingredients. Sugar treacle. I love that word, treacle. I don't know. And then some more Cadbury. And some wonderful stuff, wonderful teas that she thought would be good as iced tea, because really that's the only kind of tea I drink. So I got some Twinings, cranberry and raspberry. Yummy. Blackberry and blueberry. And St. Clemens. That sounds all so refreshing and yummy. And last but not least, she sent me some lip butter of some blueberry blush. Now we have Nivea here in the U.S. I was about to say in Alaska, but in the U.S. I think. I'm pretty sure. But I've never tried their products before, so I'm pretty stoked about that. So that's what I got in my toolbox today, guys. So lots of yummy goody things. Just some to die for skeins, and luckily they were protected from my clumsy hands by Helen thinking to begin with of putting them in here. So the last thing I want to do is encourage all of you guys today to go out and join our Summer Stripe Along Cal. It's being hosted by moi, Andersmill Knits, Hot Pink Socks, who's a co-host slash co-moderator, I guess, of the Andersmill Knits podcast. Then there is Amy, or Memers, from the Hudson Valley Knits. There is Helen from Guinea Knits. There's Karen from Simply Stashless, and there's Debbie from Destine to Knit. And all of us are joining in, and we have, holy cow, do we have a lot of prizes. So on our Ravelry group, in fact, I won't even go into it right now, but on our Ravelry group, we have on the main page listing all of our prizes there, and it's a lot. And actually, I'm expecting another prize in the mail any day now from a very lovely and gracious indie dyer. I'm so excited. I really want to encourage all of you guys to go out and sow some love to those indie dyers that have donated to the podcast. So I really want to encourage all of you to do that. And I am seeing so many awesome things out there on the Stripe Along boards, and so much good interaction. It's amazing. So it's running until August 31st, so no whips, but any kind of thing that you can stripe: knitting, crocheting, weaving, spinning, and sewing, I don't even know what else, making something on a pot. But any kind of thing that you can do, you can stripe it, you can enter it in. So, but that's all from me, guys. Sorry, I got a little notification on my phone. That's all from me today. I want to remind you to knit what you love and love what you knit, and I'll see you